Well, the world has sure gone nutty, buddy, even downright cruddy, buddy. Wish I missed the past, buddy, but there's still Buddycast. No, don't be naughty, go meet everybody here on Buddycast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and host of Buddycast, Nick Sorensen.
Hello again, buddies. It's time for another episode of everybody's favorite show, Buddycast. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen, and joining me today is a special buddy, cosplayer Bill Burns. How you doing today, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now, Bill, I was watching this video that came up on my Facebook page on Good Morning America about someone dressed as Walt Disney going to Disneyland and actually, meeting the characters and everything. And I was really happy to find that it was you. Could you tell our viewers about that day in Disney?
Well, Disney has something called, it's an unofficial event called Dapper Day, where every fans of Disneyland dress up in different period clothing from different decades, mostly the 1950s for when the park first opened. So you get sort of a feel of what Disneyland was like when it first opened. We had gone to 3 or 4 Dapper Days ahead of time, previously, and I had done like dapper, straw hats, vests, bow ties. And I figured one year, why don't I just, I had a suit and a tie and I slicked my hair back. I looked in the mirror and trimmed my mustache and I was like, I might be able to pull this off. So a year ago, I rolled Walt out on Fall Dapper Day in 2021. And it was great. People waved, hello, hey, Walt, and all that. And I brought Walt back again a second time, same sort of reaction. There was a few characters, but what we hadn't done the 2 previous visits was go to the main hub when you first walk into the park. And that's where most of the characters are. So we figured we'll go down there for once. And sure enough, there's like 4 or 5 of the Disney characters all around the hub. And my wife sees Minnie Mouse. She goes, oh, let's get a picture with Minnie. And I go, no, there's Mickey. We've tried twice to get him. This is our chance. The line is pretty short, 15, 20 people. We go to the line. The cast member's kind of looking down, and he looks up at me and he goes, we're going to cut out wait a minute. Hey, come here. And he pulls me out of the line, and he sets us aside near one of the buildings, near a door jamb. And he goes through the whole line. Mickey goes through all the guests, and then they bring Mickey over to me. And if you saw the video, that's exactly what happened. That reaction from Mickey was extremely genuine. You saw the reaction. He was stunned.
That's awesome. It really did feel like a father-son moment, Mickey meeting his dad, Walt Disney, right then and there,
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, and it has been overwhelming. I've been getting messages from all over the world, all different languages, different Disney parks, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo. Please bring Walt to our park, and it's been amazing. And I made the entire world cry, apparently. And
yes.
Tears of joy, all the better.
Nice. Do you plan on doing do you plan on doing a little traveling with Walt or anything like that?
Well, we are making plans to go to Disney World in April, and we have a few cast members and fans out there that want to see us. So we're definitely going to be heading out there late April. We're actually going to do Dapper Day here in Disneyland, and then 2 weeks later we're heading to Disney World. As far as other trips, we would definitely love to go to Paris, Disneyland Paris, because one of the biggest responses we got was casters from Disneyland Paris. A couple from Tokyo, Hong Kong. It's just, but right now we're going to work on Disney World and hopefully maybe Disneyland Paris after that.
Nice. Now let's go back to the beginning. When did you start doing cosplay?
Back in 2014, we had gone to cons. I'm a comic book geek, pop culture, movies, superhero, whatnot. And we'd always seen cosplayers, and we're like, "Oh, that's really cool." They dress up, and we appreciate the hobby. And one time I got a text from a friend of mine and said, "Hey, we're doing a Batman fan film. A fan film is where they take characters and people do their own sort of thing with the characters. And we'd like you to do Commissioner Gordon." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah." And then I had my glasses on like I do now, and I looked over in a mirror, and I'm like, "Oh boy, he's right." So I did Commissioner Gordon for the fan film, and a couple weeks later, there was another con coming up, and I told my wife, I said, "Why don't we just go and cosplay, see what happens?" And she went as who'd you go as? Agent Carter. And I went as Commissioner Gordon, and he was a hit. All I had was a trench coat on, a tie, glasses, and was immediately recognized as Commissioner Gordon. From there, it just exploded. I've got at least 10 cosplays now, and I'm working on a lot more.
Nice. Who are some of your favorite characters? I know that's asking like who's your favorite child or so, but like,
oh boy, I have Dr. Fate, Scar from The Lion King, Commissioner Gordon, of course, the Shadow. Who else have we got? Ned Flanders. I could do Ned Flanders. I probably look like him right now. I've done Kraven the Hunter from Spider-Man. I've got a few Star Wars. I do a Tusken Raider from one of the Sand People. And I do a Rebel Trooper. But I have to say my favorite of them all is J. Jonah Jameson.
nice.
I have so much fun with that character because the term cosplay is you play.
Mhm.
And when people see me dressed as J. Jonah Jameson, they expect a reaction. They know that what this man does, and they know what his drive is towards Spider-Man, and I just play right into it. He's hugely popular among the Spider cosplayers. So
Nice. Have you nailed down any of the impressions yet, or any of the impersonations?
you mean J. Jonah Jameson, that mirror-eyed menace? He's got to pay for what he's done to New York City.
Nice.
So yeah, it's you just go into a certain mode with a character like that. So.
Most certainly. And we talked earlier about like the reaction you got at Disneyland. What other reactions have you gotten from being in cosplay?
I'd have to say probably J. Jonah Jameson gets the most reactions because he's very visible. I'm 6'5", so you have this very tall J. Jonah Jameson walking around, and people literally walk up to me and say something horrible to me in J. Jonah Jameson's voice. So you're an idiot, get out, and they're, they'll, oh, I love it, and it's just the cosplay community in general is just incredible.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you said you had some plans for Disney coming up. What about other events like Comic-Con stuff you have planned for 2023 where everybody's can find you?
I've got quite a few cons coming up. There's WonderCon in Anaheim. There's the San Diego Comic-Con. We're possibly heading back to there. Dragon Con, which is the largest cosplay con in the world, 60 to 70,000 cosplayers in one place. Rose City Comic Con is in our plans in Portland, Oregon. We're looking at maybe the New York Comic Con and probably the San Francisco Expo and the Los Angeles Comic Con. And that's just to name a few. There may be some more in between.
Nice. If you ever make it over to the Pennsylvania area, we have Steel City Con in Pittsburgh, and we have Erie Comic Con in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Yeah. So feel free to stop on down to those two. They're really nice. I've been to both of them.
I've seen videos of them, and the Pittsburgh one looks particularly nice.
Yeah. A lot of standing, a lot of waiting in line, but it's worth it,
Yeah, welcome to the con community. Or Disneyland for that matter.
Yes, absolutely. So when you do characters, how long does it usually take you to get into costume? How long does it usually take for you to get ready?
I would have to say for a suited up one, it could take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. But somebody like Jonah or Walt, it probably takes half an hour, 20 minutes, less. Depends how much if you've got a lot of armor to put on or capes, or what they use something called EVA foam, which held together by Velcro, hot glue. A lot of 3D printed pieces go on, but I would say an hour at the most for any of them.
Nice. Nice. So, like I said, I found you because of the GMA video with you being Walt. If
Mhm.
Walt was still here today and everything, what would you have to say to him? Like, what would you have to ask him? Things like that.
First of all, I would say, well, Walt, I hope I'm doing good by you, and you should know, Walt, your spirit is quite well, very much alive in the park today, and that showed that day. It touched. He still means a lot to a lot of people, and I would like him to know that. I think, honestly, I think he would be tickled pink seeing somebody that looked like him still walking around the park today, going, I think he would be quite thrilled at seeing that he still matters and Disneyland still matters and the good things in this world still matter and people still remember that.
Nice. Hey, I have a follow-up question. Have you heard from like cast members that were there on that day? Like,
Oh
did they
gosh,
reach out to
yes,
you? What were some
yes,
impactful
yes.
stories that they sent you?
Uh, a lot of them would say I've watched the video 20 times, still in tears, because I tried so hard to give the cast members so much credit for that day because they saw what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The cast member that you may have seen in the video, he saw something special that was going to happen that day, and it did. And I've been getting response. I was getting so many thank yous, and I said, well, you people should know, you cast members should know, you are 90% of the reason people go to these parks. The parks are nothing without you. And clearly, what you people did that day, it affected everyone. I was only a very small part of that. They saw something that was going to happen. And I can't stress that enough.
Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. So I got two more questions for you. I
Yes.
always this to make it an official buddy cast. The first question is brought to us by my buddy Jonas Kane at hashtag positivity. He wants to know, in your own words, what does it mean to be someone's buddy?
I would say loyalty means a lot to me if you have a buddy. I mean, it even extends probably past a naturally born family member. Even if you're struggling with your family members, that buddy is there for you and is loyal and somebody that you're going to need when your family doesn't come through. That's what it
Brilliant.
means to me. Thank you.
Brilliant. Love that answer. Loyalty is everything. You're absolutely right. The final question I have for you tonight is what's called the ultimate buddycast buddy question. You ready for this one?
Okay.
What's your advice to anybody who wants to do cosplay one day or who does cosplay? And what's your advice to them?
I would say go out there and do it. Be something that you're not. Be expressive because 90% of the cosplayers that you've probably seen or met are mostly introverts. And the only way that they can connect to people and humanity in general is through cosplay because it's a channel that they can reach out and actually be extroverts. And that's what I've been doing. That's the best advice I could give. And don't be afraid to do your own version of a cosplay. It's your take. It's you. It's you expressing yourself through something you love.
You're absolutely right. And you know what I love about cosplay? People who do cosplay, you're right, they're introverts, but they're
Yes.
everyday people. They're accountants. They're,
Mhm.
salespeople. They're health professionals. And this is that thing they can do outside of work that just allows them to be them.
Exactly. I have met people from every walk of life. I'm a sign artist at Trader Joe's. And I have friends, buddies that are lawyers, doctors, horse trainers, you name it. Cosplayers come from everywhere and it's a very global community.
And it brings people together too, you said, right? It
Very
creates a
much so.
community.
Yes.
How many of your
It's one of
buddies have
the,
you met? How many of your buddies have you met through cosplaying?
oh gosh, uh, hundreds. And
Nice.
it's just, it's an infectious hobby and the people are just, I have had so many warm interactions, and I can't say enough about the community, about just how great it is. It's perfect for, you know, the buddy cast. These are the best buddies you could possibly find. And I can't say enough about it.
Absolutely. Well, buddy, thank you so much for joining us on an episode of Buddycast. It was an honor to meet you. I'm happy with your success. Thank you for all that you do. And
thank you very much.
Yes. Before we close out this episode, I have one favor to ask you. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, even next year, please go be someone's buddy.
Indeed. Exactly.
Yes.
The best thing.
Mm-hmm. For my buddies out there, this is my new buddy, Bill Burns. Please check out the video on Good Morning America. You'll see everything we're talking about. Please go do some cosplay and just be your fun self. Be your inner character. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. Thank you for joining us on another episode of everybody's favorite show, Buddycast. We'll catch you all next time.
Well, the days are going fast. Buddy, we've got to make them last. Buddy, before they've all gone past. Buddy, tune in to Buddycast. But don't feel none, it can make it, buddy, here on Buddycast.